What is going on, my Masketeers? Welcome back to another episode. And today we are talking about HBO's House of the Dragon episode 2. And yeah, let's get into this. You know what? This episode was actually quite good. I'm already giving it away, even from the jump. But it was. We see the aftermath of episode 1. It's literally been 6 months has passed between the two episodes. Obviously choosing his daughter, Rhaenyra, to be his heir because he doesn't have any male heirs, and he picks her over his brother Daemon, and Daemon ain't taking that too well. You know, he's really in his feelings about that whole situation, and he decides to leave and kind of throw a little bit of a hissy fit, a Targaryen equivalent of a hissy fit, should I say. So that's really going on. Essentially, everybody is now just kind of scrambling around trying to get some sense of normalcy and try to restore the kingdom's reputation, so to speak, because they're looking at Westeros, aka the Seven Kingdoms, like they're looking quite weak right now due to the fact of there's also been some crew that has been running around on the Sea Stones, which is a shipping port, killing sailors and also raiding ships, and because of that they're losing some money. Again, that's just adding to the whole notion of people feel that we are weak, or the free city, should I say, feel that Westeros is kind of weak right now due to the fact that the king has lost his wife, lost his male heir, he only has his daughter left. He's also getting pressure from his own council that he needs to remarry, even though still mourning the death of his wife. But they're like, nah, you need to wrap this up and we need you to get a new queen and also get some more babies, and hopefully a male heir can come out of that new union. So he's dealing with that. And you have my man Otto Hightower, and he is let me say this man is really aiming for the top. When they say aim for the moon, even if you miss, you're still amongst the stars. That's what Otto is really doing. And the stone he's using to dash up there to the moon is his own daughter, because he is pimping her out on a madness. But you know what? How he's done it, yeah, he's done it so suave. He's literally done it so suave. It's sad because, again, his daughter, Alyssa, she's a good girl. She's just doing what her dad tells her. But she also has like this very nervous tick where she kind of like picks at her fingernails, but she does it to the extent to where like they're bloody, and she's always doing it like when she's nervous. It's real sad to see what she has to go through being a woman in the kingdom, especially when you are essentially just a tool for your father's ambitions, because no matter what, everybody's trying to get something. Even Viserys' sister, Princess Rhea, even she pimping her own daughter, who's 12, by the way. This is just mad as well. This is just mad. But then again, back in the day, kings did marry very young girls who just literally started their period and stuff like that. So it's not uncommon for that era, especially because this is based around medieval history, and that was very common practice. It still don't make it right, regardless. It's wild. They're saying that when she turns 14, then she can bed him, and that whole conversation was just very, very, very twisted. And that's like his niece, essentially. The sister is basically trying to get her brother to marry her daughter. That way she can essentially get to the throne again, but through her child, you know, which is kind of like the old school mentality of, if you can't achieve it, then you live vicariously through your children. So that's the angle she's on. And her husband, Corley or Corlez, how do you say this man's name, man? You know, the only black man in the whole damn kingdom. Even he was for it. But he also wanted the king to act upon the people who are raiding Seastone, because he controls majority of like the shipping like within Westeros. So he felt, no, I need you to handle this. But the king is being more cautious because they're thinking about the people who are backing these pirates, essentially. And if they kill them, then that might start a whole war with the free cities. But again, he's just moving like it's been weak for us not to do anything, and left unchecked, they're gaining more power and they're gaining more territory. So we need to cut them off now. But the king is being cautious. And also because Otto is just telling them, nah, we're not going to do that, we're not going to act. And so again, that's kind of putting Corley's at odds with the king. Then you have Daemon. And listen, man, Daemon is just out here he's just been a thotty out here in these streets, man. Like, he's going to Dragonstone. He doesn't want to do nothing. He essentially stole a dragon egg because he's quote unquote getting married to his prostitute or the whore as they call her, and he basically claimed that she's pregnant. And because of Targaryen tradition, you normally have your wife who's pregnant lay with a dragon egg, and they happen to find out that the dragon egg that he stole was the same one that Viserys Viserys chose for his late wife and his infant son. So that was like the big disrespect. And so yeah, Otto decides to go on behalf of the king to get Daemon to give back the egg and surrender Dragonstone. They go. It doesn't really go to plan. Rhaenyra turns up on her dragon. They have a conversation, diffuse it without any bloodshed. So let's get into the good of the show. To be honest with you, man, everything in the show was good. Again, the acting, the story, I like its development, potentially where it's going to go. They're setting the seeds. They're definitely getting us ready for what's to come. And I feel like everybody is playing the game now. Everybody's playing the game. And if you ain't playing the game, then you've already lost. Simple as that. King Viserys, man, he's just getting finessed, man. He's getting finessed on so many levels. Otto is really out here like a puppet master, really pulling these strings. And he's very subtle with it. That's the one thing which I like about Otto. Otto's tactics are very subtle. And it's because he knows Viserys so well that he's able to implant his little nuggets. And it doesn't look like he's doing anything sus, but it's hella sus. Hella sus. Everybody's now kind of moving into the pieces of where they're going to fall in the story. But at the same time, you don't really know in it because allegiances change every day, baby. They change every day. And that's really it, man. I think character, story-wise, CGI, like always, is always on point. I would say that even Dragonstone looked much better in comparison to how it looked in Game of Thrones. Like this one, it looks majestic. In Game of Thrones, it looked very desolate. It looked very like barren, but then maybe because no one had lived there for like the last, I don't know, like 20, 30 years. That's the reason why. But in House of the Dragon, it still looks like it's on a volcano, but it feels more vibrant. It feels more epic, essentially. With that being said, let's get into the bad. Again, I got nothing bad about the show, man. Honestly, I ain't got nothing bad to say. It's going to be quite biased. Until it gives me something bad, I have got nothing bad to say about the show. I would say that the only thing which, I don't know, it's not even anything bad, to be honest with you. I'm just wondering how much time will stretch out throughout the season. That's my only question. So it's not even a bad, it's just a question. How much time is going to pass in the first season itself? And with that, I would say my verdict for this episode, I'll give it an 8 out of 10. Nothing spectacular happened. Again, this was more development. This was more setting up the pieces. Episode 1 hit you with a bang. Episode 2, it's a nice slow burn, but very entertaining. And again, it's only getting you ready for what's to come. So I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10. Really enjoying the show so far. They're doing everything right, and I can't wait to see where the story goes. And with that, I'm going to take time right now to do a few comments from people who've been commenting on my previous videos. You should be able to see them right about now. Take them in, take them in, take them in. And again, guys, thank you so much. We are on the road to 2K. I'm trying to get to 5 by the end of year. So please keep liking, commenting, subscribing. And I will see you at the next masquerade. Peace. Never chase a bitch.